Alright, y'all, we just got our RV back. We got a hook back up, and there it is. They parked it right by the gate. So you know what that means. I gotta back Matthew up.
And stay tuned, because I am going to show you exactly what the problem was, and you're going to gasp.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to gasp. We got to get to where we're going first, though, and then I'll show you.
Oh, I've come too far in this to raise my flag and call it quits. So I keep on pushing through. Yeah, I get up and I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground.
Greetings and salutations from a rest area.
Howdy.
It's been a long day. We got up at 4 a.m. and it is now 5:14 p.m.
And we're not done.
No.
It says we have 157 miles left to go.
You're probably thinking, where are you going? We're going to Deming, and when we're there, we will explain more, because we will have 3 days, no, really 2 full days to stay there before
we leave at the crack of dawn all over again.
And like I said, we'll explain, but trailer's doing good since the suspension got fixed and stuff, and he's going to do a walk around and
just check on everything. And it's cold here. I don't even know where here is, but it's cold. Wherever this is, it's not warm.
It's on the other side of Benson, where the rocks are, like Texas Canyon or something, where they have all the rocks.
And I think we have some elevation here too, so it's really windy.
Yeah, it is.
We're looking forward to explaining everything that's going on. You just gotta wait.
Yep. What do you think of our new wardrobe?
I won't turn this on because it'll blind you, but we hate backing in, pulling in, towing at night, but guess what we had to do? We had to tow at night, but thankfully we got a pull-through spot.
Yeah, maneuvering a campground that we did not know had construction in front of it, and we went in, it was like, oh no, we went in the exit, but it was late.
Now,
it was too late to go in the entrance at that point.
The bad news, it's in the 30s. The good news is that it's not windy, so I was able to hook everything up tonight. We were like, do we really need power? Do we really need sewer? And we stepped outside and Sean said, it ain't windy. And so I'm like, all right, let's just hook it all up. So now it's all hooked up. We can have showers. We can have heat. We got everything.
The park wasn't that busy, so it was easy to maneuver. Actually, they make the aisles nice and wide.
Sure do.
So yeah, we had these headlamps. The moon, it's a full moon, but it's kind of cloudy. But we were able to get it done. So now, like Matthew said, we're ready to just veg. We've been up since 4 a.m. Nice long hot showers.
Take my contacts out because they're screaming.
A nice restful night. And we are going to update y'all about why are we on this wild ride. Alright y'all, this is our site here at Dreamcatcher RV Park. It's an escapees park here in Deming, New Mexico. And we got one of the super sites, but I think it's because it's more wide than long, because we are all the way at the back of the site. As you can see, a little past the board there, but I tried to, it was dark. And so we parked beside the RV because here's the front. We're site 88. I don't know how many super sites they call them that they have. And then here's the front, see, but the aisles are really wide. And you get full hookups. I don't know how it was set up back in the day, but they had like double power, water, and sewer, but they have a big red thing here saying don't use this power, but we're using this water. There's an extra sewer. Like I said, here's the water. Water pressure is great here. We get 50 amp. I think it's set up for 32. There's another water spigot if you want that one, and we use the sewer in the back. It's nice wide open aisles. It was very easy to maneuver in the dark, which who wants to do that first time, but we found it. They gave us a map when we checked in. We found our spot, and yeah, there's the interstate. There's a train on the other side of that, but there's a mountain beyond that, so you get to see the mountain. right, y'all, it's time for us to tell y'all what is going on. Why in the world did we have to leave Yuma so early to make it up to quartzsite?
Yep, and you've already seen a component of that, which was us getting the suspension fixed. All right, y'all. Here's to show you now that they've taken off the old Cree 3000. See? Cree 3000. It's literally what it says. It's a MORryde suspension thing. It's an equalizer. This end, each end attaches to the leaf springs. So here is the crack. Do you see it right there? I'm only wearing gloves because these things are so greasy. All right, back up and give them the whole picture. This whole thing is cracked from here to here. So by now, I'm going to tell you the truth. We've contacted Grand Design and we contacted MORryde in hopes that one of them would help us out here, stand behind the products. This thing, Grand Design said it's over a year old, therefore we're sorry. Can't help you. But we went to MORryde and I emailed them, and I tell you what, within, what would you say, like an hour? Maybe, not even an hour? It seems like they got right back to us and they said, it's the warranty is 2 years on these, but they're going to cover them anyways. $199.99, and that's just in our case. I can't tell you that yours will be the same price or that they'd even cover yours, but they covered ours. They don't cover the labor, which was a huge cost, much more than the part, but they won't cover the labor. They're not covering the taxes or anything, but they are covering the price of these two bad boys. I don't know if we said this or not, but we're replacing both, or we did replace both, because both of these bad boys were made in the same factory at the same time. They had to have been, because they were installed from Grand Design at the same time. So that's just what my mind is telling me. Replace them both in case there's some kind of a defect with both of them. And that's what our friend said too. So that's what we did. And you can see the crack right here. So we don't have to worry about that. We're going to get rid of this one because MORryde does not need that back. All right. But we're going to keep this one just as in case. Just in case. These suckers are heavy. I really hate to hold on to this. I don't want to hold on to it because it's so much weight. It's so much extra weight, and we need to get rid of weight. Not personally, but with the RV. But, I mean, these things are pricey, y'all. And if it breaks down on the side of the road, I don't know how to fix it, but at least we'll have one.
Anytime that you have something go wrong with your rig, contact the manufacturer first, and then if it's a product like MORryde or Lippert or something, also contact them, because you never know what they're willing to cover. Like our theater seating chairs, for example, I think where they one was out of warranty.
Yours
and one
was out of warranty. Yeah,
they sent us a whole new chair. You just never know. So
don't convince yourself, oh, it's out of warranty, it's out of warranty. Now, if your vehicle is out of warranty, they're probably not going to cover it. But even there, you should ask. Just ask. It's free to ask, and you might get it covered. That was kind of crazy. So
unexpected.
But that's not
the reason why we left Yuma.
That's just another bump in the road.
Yeah.
So, jumping back more than a year ago, it's been that long, right? Yeah, over a year, I had an injury to my wrist. And it hurt. I couldn't even use it, really. Even just doing daily tasks, you know, using on a computer, doing this or that, brushing your teeth, whatever I did, it hurt. So I became left-handed. I'm normally right-handed. Did that fix the problem? Well, it got rid of that symptom. No more pain, honestly. And I was like, yes, that is perfect. No more pain. Unfortunately, folks, pain isn't the only thing. So then slowly, and I mean slowly, this was not overnight. This was not even over the course of a few weeks or a couple months. Month after month after month, it would get worse and worse and worse. And what I'm talking about is I would lose control of the functionality in my right arm. This one. I don't know what camera does to right and left, but this one, right here, right arm. I know I should know these things, but I can't think of it right now. I have no numbness. I have no loss of feeling. Nothing goes to sleep. But I'm losing control of it in the sense that I have less functionality, less fine motor skills, less strength for sure. It's hard to grip some things. But I have no pain at all. None. Zero. And the biggest thing is it shakes and I can't control it. Now, some of you out there, eagle-eyed people, have noticed this already. I've done a careful job of trying to keep it private, but it's come to a head. And lately, why are we taking this trip now?
Because he's tried to get into doctors in Arizona since October, and they're like, well, we're booked all the way out to February. And if it was a case where he's going to need multiple doctor's visits, we didn't really want to be stuck in Arizona in the summer. So we're like, well, why don't we go back to our home state, which is Florida,
where they have excellent medical care.
Yeah, and he actually found a doctor that he liked, and we're like, okay. So he called, you know, because you want to wait till the insurance kind of rolls over again anyway, start all that new or whatever. And we thought it would take a lot of.
Can I pause right there? We got a much better insurance plan, y'all.
That's true.
We also couldn't afford to, under our old insurance, we just couldn't afford to see the doctor. And I'm talking specialists. I'm not talking primary care. I'm not talking nurse practitioners. So we got a better insurance plan.
So we were like, okay. So Matthew does a lot of research when it comes to doctors and stuff, and he found one that he really liked. It was in Tampa, though, and y'all know what's going on in Tampa. The Tampa RV show, the snowbirds are there. Everybody said if you want an RV park, go north of Tampa, basically. So we need all of those things, an RV park. And he needed a doctor. He's like, but I really like this one, because he could have looked further north, like Gainesville or Jacksonville. And I'm like, no, you really like this one. Just call and just see how far out they are. And so he called, and they're like, well, we have one January 30th. Again, like right, during the snowbird season. I'm like, well, just go ahead and schedule it for March, because we had to get our bearings. Like, are we really going to try to get there in January? And we had the rally, the Grand Design rally, and the Quartzsite show, and there were so many people in Quartzsite that we wanted to hang out with and meet
for the first time
and stuff like that. And then we started thinking about it. We gave it a day, and we're like, we really can't legitimize putting you off for like another month, basically, when he really needs to get it looked at.
And it's been getting worse lately. There was a period of time when it seemed like it was getting a little better.
Yeah.
I would have brief moments in time where I would have better control of my arm and whatnot, but lately it's been getting worse. And when stuff like that gets worse, none of the exercises, none of the physical therapy stuff that I've either figured out myself or other friends or people have introduced me to, none of that is making a darn bit of difference. So it's getting worse. It's time to go. And did you mention that we were surprised by the appointment?
Yeah, we're surprised because we honestly thought he wouldn't even get into March or April anyway. So we called back. They still had it available for January the 30th. We looked and we saw that we could get to Florida sooner. But the one problem was we need our wheel bearings repacked that Matthew bought all the stuff for, and we had a friend that was going to help Matthew or show Matthew what to do at the Grand Design Rally.
Thank you, Mike.
And the friend Mike was already in Quartzsite, so we, instead of leaving straight from Yuma to go to Florida, we need to get these wheel bearings done. So we went to Quartzsite a week early, and we were only going to be there a week, so we were still going to be gone before the Quartzsite show. And thank goodness that we got the wheel bearings looked at when we did, because then we discovered the broken suspension.
Well, by we mean Mike.
Yeah, Mike did.
Because what happens is I always look on the outside between the wheels. I look from a distance. I look from the back side. You can look under the driver's side to see the inside of the passenger suspension, but that's like 8 feet away. In fact, it is 8 feet away, because that's how wide the rig is without the slides out. So I couldn't see this, but he got under there like a turtle and was on his back, and I know it was not comfortable. I know he was in some discomfort, but the man sent from God to help us looked under there and found a crack. And it wasn't just a little crack. It is really cracked and separated, metal parts separated on the equalizer. So, I mean, it took about 4 hours to get it done, but we got all the wet bolts replaced because some of them weren't taking grease anymore. And the short of it is, when they took it off, they said it's the perfect time for you to have come in, because this thing was not in great shape. It would have eventually, who knows when, but it would have eventually worn out. And with this big, y'all might not remember this by the time you see this, but there's a huge, massive cold front coming in through the south, like record-breaking cold front. And who wants to be, 15 degrees overnight on the side of the road with your leaf springs digging into the ground and your equalizers into a million pieces or whatever happens when these things just go kablooey.
Well, a funny note about that was before they got it all down, Matthew just called just to say, well, did you find the crack yet? And the guy, he said, well, let me go check with the tech or whatever. And he's like, well, he's having trouble looking at everything because of all the mud. I'm like, well, yeah,
dirt.
Hello, that's Boondockers. We just came right from quartzsite. So
as an incidental, when we get to Tampa, one of the things we'll be doing is cleaning the desert off of the rig. But all of y'all who have been out west know exactly what we're talking about.
All of this to say, y'all, this was very unexpected. We were just supposed to go from Yuma to quartzsite, get our wheel bearings done, and we were going to be in quartzsite a whole week and meet with the friends and people that we hadn't met yet. We were going to cram it all into that week. And
as much as we could.
Mike wasn't even supposed to do the bearings till Friday, but he said, you know what, I'm available on Tuesday. So God opened the door for Mike to come on Tuesday. God opened the door for Mike to see that crack. God opened the door for this repair shop in Phoenix to have a cancellation. The only cancellation they had was that Wednesday morning because he said he had nothing else the rest of that week and didn't really have an appointment or any appointments until February.
Yep.
So everything just kind of lined up how it was supposed to for us to be able to make it safely back to Florida.
So where we're sitting right now is in Deming, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. So we went to Phoenix or Glendale and we got it fixed, and then we hot-footed it to Deming, where we're at right now, the Dreamcatcher RV Park for escapees. And then we are going to hot-foot it over a 3-day travel day to our next destination, which is not our final destination because it's 2,300 miles. I mean,
From
I feel like we're going
to Tampa.
Yeah, I feel like we're going coast to coast here, folks. There's a lot of mileage. And of course, we have this Arctic cold front coming in. People are supposed to get snow and ice who have not had it for a long time. So
it's crazy.
But God opened every door and he took his foot and said, get out there. I need for you to go. Start making tracks, Jack. Just go. And so we're like, all right, we got it. Got the point. Sometimes it takes a 2x4 to get us to see the light. And we did. So we're going. We're not complaining. It's just a little bit of a challenge.
We're so glad that we were able to come to Deming. We made it here about 8 o'clock at night on Wednesday because that gave us Thursday and Friday to work. It's kind of like bittersweet because I'm kind of excited to see something different. But the bittersweet part is leaving the people. It's not leaving the desert. It's leaving the people that are in the desert. I mean, we didn't get to see everybody that we wanted to see. There were even people willing to drive like 2.5 hours to see us while we were there in quartzsite. We even had people willing to leave their rally early so they could give us a proper send-off.
And there were people who wanted to see us, wanted to run into us, were hoping we'd bump into each other. And we miss that because we love meeting people, getting to know people, making new friends, new lifelong friends. We love all of that. So we are sorry. But unfortunately, sometimes medical stuff just happens. And even though this didn't happen overnight, it's getting rather urgent. I mean, I'm totally left-handed now, which is fine. I mean, thank God I was able to do that. I do pretty much everything with my left hand. But I need both hands. I need to be able to use my right arm, and I can't control it. It's really embarrassing going into places, and it's just, no, I need control of myself again, and like this thing. And hopefully, Lord willing, the specialists or however many we need to see are going to be able to help us with this, but we're going to bring you all along for the ride. I can't promise I'm going to put the camera in the doctor's face, but we'll bring you along for the ride and tell you what's up.
And the reason we're sharing this is because many of y'all are probably, full-time on the road, or even if you're not, when a medical situation arises, it's like, how are you going to handle it? Well, with us, we just thought it would be better if we went back to the state of Florida. It just seemed, because that's where our insurance is from, that's our home state.
Now, we have nationwide insurance, but that is our home state, and they have a plethora of really good quality medical facilities there. And we know that. We're not just saying that because rah-rah Florida, but they really do have some of the best.
And even though we didn't want to be in Arizona in the summertime, and Florida gets hot in the summer too, we've lived in Florida in the summertime, so I think we can
do this.
Manage it better.
And Florida in the summer is a little bit cheaper. Actually, it's a lot cheaper than Florida in the winter.
Once April hits.
Once April hits and the snowbirds leave and it becomes deathly hot and humid, it's affordable.
Speaking of the snowbirds, the destination was Tampa. The closest RV park we could get into affordably was 2 hours away.
So 2 hours away. So we still have to have a 4-hour round trip, and that's not exaggerating. That is actually a little bit undercutting the time that Google says. So
I'm hoping once, probably still not February, we will be there in February, but March, hopefully April for sure, we should be able to start getting some RV parks closer to Tampa, because we don't know how all of his appointments are going to line up anyways, so.
Nope. And I don't know how many doctors I'll have to see. It could be something as simple as an arm or wrist problem. It could be something a lot more serious like Parkinson's. I mean, we have no idea. No idea. Other than Google research, which always tells you the worst. So who knows?
So we've already started our journey from Quartzsite. We made it all the way to Deming, and we have to make it all the way to Tampa, but we're going to stop for a week first on Monday. We've got 3 travel days because it's the holiday weekend coming up. It's President's Weekend.
No, it's not. It's Martin Luther King weekend.
Which wasn't it? President's is in February. Just scratch what I said. It's Martin Luther King weekend. So you get a Saturday, Sunday, and a Monday, and we're going to travel all 3 days, and we have got to be parked by Monday because the ice and snow in the panhandle of Florida.
Inches of snow. Not like, ooh, you get a little dusting of snow. No. I'm not talking Michigan snow. I'm talking, though, inches of snow is what they're predicting is possible this far out. By the way, who do y'all go to for your travel weather? App, YouTube channel, network, website, whatever. I know who we use. Who do you use? Who do you rely on? Who's reliable to you? Because that's the good information for those people in the comment section who don't have anybody. They're just kind of winging it. What's good?
And just for reference, if you don't know what weekend Martin Luther King was, today is January the 17th or 18th,
I think so.
something
17th,
like that.
yeah.
We'll be in on Monday. It'll be January 20th. We want to know, where were you this weekend, and were you affected by this huge? I'm calling it polar vortex 2.0 because I don't think it's going to hit Quartzsite. Quartzsite's still going to be in the 60s, but it's hitting everywhere else.
And we're leaving at the crack of dawn. I mean, at the crack of dawn. So we have hitched up the night before.
Yes.
I'm going to take down all of the hookups tonight after our showers and whatnot. So we're ready to go, Jack. We've got this thing bundled up. We're ready to go.